Hello, and welcome to another Rosterfy webinar. Today we've got a great webinar with two fantastic guests. The non-profit sector has understood the need to digitally transform and modernize its systems for some time now. In today's 30-minute webinar, we're going to be focused purely on getting the most out of the systems that you brought into your non-profit, your voluntary, your volunteer service, and your fundraising platforms. It's about understanding the data that's in front of you and creating opportunities to extend your reach, improve your impact, and the longevity of your programs. I'm joined by Sam Bennett from the UK Rosterfy team and Maxine from Blackbaud as well. I'm going to pass straight over to Sam. This is just a 30-minute webinar. If you do have any questions as we go through the presentation, please feel free to add them on the column that you've got on the right-hand side of your screen, and hopefully we'll have enough time to answer them. And if you did want to pass this recording on to any of your colleagues that perhaps missed the webinar, I'll be sharing a link afterwards. So that's enough from me. I'll pass over to Sam.
Brilliant, thanks Martin, and welcome all. For those that I haven't met before, I'm Sam Bennett, head up the sales team for Rosterfy in the UK and Europe. We also have Maxine on the call from the Blackbaud team. Do you want to just give you a quick introduction to yourself, Maxine?
Yeah, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sam. Really happy to be here today. My name's Maxine. I am an account executive at Blackbaud. Just joined Blackbaud in September, so still relatively new, but moved to the Blackbaud team when I relocated from Canada to the UK. I spent the last 10 years working in the not-for-profit sector. Most recently, spent some time at UK Charities Aid Foundation in Toronto, Ontario, where I worked in their stewardship and fundraising team. Really excited to now be on the Blackbaud team and partnering with an organization like Rosterfy, and excited to share some tidbits today.
Excellent, thank you very much. As Martin said, we've got about 20 minutes for this session plus some time for some Q&A, so we will try and keep it quite brief. The focus of today's session, for those that haven't been to a webinar before with us, I do a quick introduction to Rosterfy, but I'll keep that fairly brief. We'll then talk about the current kind of status of the UK giving scene and how that relationship can engage across all of your supporters within the organisation, from volunteering to fundraising, and a mix of supporting acts that can happen in between. We'll be focusing a lot today on what we call the supporter experience, so joining up your systems and processes and making sure that when someone engages with your charity or comes through your website, they're often already somewhat connected to your cause or have been from friends and family. So it's just making sure that they feel welcome, they feel appreciated for reaching out, and that we make it very clear and easy for them to see how they can help the charity and support the mission of the charity and feel like they're adding value. So we'll focus a lot on that today, and a lot of the benefits within Rosterfy and the Blackbaud CRM and the integration really align to some of that supporter experience, and then also some of the insights and impact that you can get out of the back end of some of that experience being as good as it can be as well. So very quick introduction to Rosterfy for those that haven't kind of been made aware of us before. We've been in the market now for around about 10 years. Originally, we kind of started as an organisation that was placing young people coming out of college and universities into work experience opportunities with local charities and local events. So really helping to staff some of the ongoing kind of fundraising events in the area, a mix of different charity initiatives and sporting events. And the company at the time created its own platform, its own database to help manage the onboarding and the recruitment of those young people, and then also tracking the work that they were doing when we were placing them out to different partner events and organizations in their local area. So a big part of the reason Rosterfy was first created was to help with the recruitment, the onboarding of some of those young candidates, and then tracking their impact, tracking the hours that they were doing, understanding their skill sets and where they were based, and also then being able to call upon people and keep them engaged as and when opportunities did arise. So that was about 10 years ago. The platform itself gathered a lot of interest and started to really become a software company within its own right organically. We've now supported volunteer programs in over 35 countries, and very proud to have surpassed 100 million volunteering hours in Rosterfy last year. And we now have some ambitious goals to get that to 500 million within the next few years. So we've seen lots of different things when it comes to volunteering. And we've got a mix of customers of all shapes and sizes, and there's not much we haven't seen when it comes to volunteering, from hospices and kind of charity retail operations of all kinds of sizes, through to city councils and citywide volunteering programs, and some of the biggest sporting and charitable events that happen around the globe as well. So we really have been seeing a lot of different scenarios and really know what good looks like when it comes to managing a volunteer program. So coming on to the theme for today's session, so we're really looking to tie up that supporter journey throughout their life cycle supporting your charity. So I've actually used this report on a previous webinar, but there was a UK giving report that was put together by the Charities Aid Foundation in 2024. They'll have another report coming out this year, soon, with a bit of an update on this. But essentially 75% of the UK population last year did something charitable in 2024. So whether that is sponsoring someone who's running a charity fundraiser, whether it's donating money directly to a charity, giving goods, giving items of clothing, donations to raffle prizes and those sorts of things, or volunteering their time as well. And quite often people do a mix of those things. So sometimes they might volunteer some of their time and then organically become a fundraiser or a donor over time. And at different stages in their life cycle, as their life circumstances change, they might have more time to volunteer at certain points. Then they might have, family or situations change with their work environment and so on, less time to volunteer, but they could still be connected to the charity and helping to fundraise or share the mission. So very important to make people feel welcome and show them a mix of different ways that they can support your organization. The other kind of graph that's come out of that report on the right hand side there shows that 60% in total of people that engage with charities found the charity that they engage with either through personal experience, so they're personally impacted by something that the charity helps to support, or through friends and family. So a lot of it is experience related. A lot of the time when someone comes to help with a charity, they already have some form of connection, at least to the cause that charity is helping to support. So there is also already a kind of a personal connection there. And it's about when those people do reach out, it's very, very important to make sure that their experience is good, they're not ignored, and we're guiding them through those initial kind of sign up steps as quickly and easily as possible. And again, with the friends and family piece, a lot of referrals come into that. So if you're a charity that doesn't quite have your processes joined up and maybe a bit slow to respond or not very engaging with the way that you get volunteers on board, that can have knock-on impact of notifying friends and family that they didn't have a great experience. So it is very much about making sure everyone feels welcome and appreciated when they come to your website. A few other stats on there: 79% of volunteers will donate to the organisation who they volunteer with. So it's a really powerful statistic. When you have people on the ground who are supporting your cause and giving some of their time, those are the volunteers that get to see the real impact of the charity and get to see where that funding goes and the difference it can make. So quite often volunteers are very much engaged with donating or fundraising for a charity, and vice versa as well. When you have corporates and different groups involved with donating to an organization, they quite often also want to donate their time. So it's about being able to kind of make it easy for them to move between and support the organization in different ways. Typically volunteers donate more than those that don't. 56% more than those that don't on average. So again, because they see the impact of the funding, they're much more likely to donate some of their money. And an important stat at the bottom is 61% of people who volunteer would volunteer for one organisation only. So again, really comes back to that supporter experience piece. If you've got someone that's connected to your cause and has reached out and have found that their onboarding process was slow, or they didn't have communications in a timely way and they ended up dropping out in the process, the chances are they might have gone on to find another organisation to support. And generally they will only stick with that one organisation. So it's very important when someone does come to connect with you, just to make sure that they have got the best experience possible. And that's really a lot of what we do at Rosterfy. It's a lot of area that we kind of focus our efforts on, is what has to happen between someone applying to volunteer and actually coming to help with the charity. So quite often charities have a mix of different volunteering roles. Some of them have different sign-up processes. So quite often volunteering roles might require important safeguarding steps like background checks, references, interviews, training that has to be done, forms that have to be completed, lots of different steps in the process. But that can quite often mean it can be quite slow, cumbersome, and quite often what you'll find is that volunteers at some point in that onboarding journey might drop off. So we kind of lose some of that engagement throughout those important safeguarding steps. So really a lot of our focus is on how do we make that process as joined up as possible and as quick and easy as possible to get volunteers through. So using different languages to appeal to different demographics, really understanding why each demographic wants to volunteer with you and talking to those languages, making that onboarding process really slick and easy as possible with a mobile app they can log into and communications and alerts along the way, and then live visibility of every sign up. So we know that not every volunteer is starting from the same place. Some will require extra support and extra guidance to get through their volunteering journey. So it's very, very important for you as a charity to be able to see everyone that has signed up and what stage they're in at the moment, so that you can proactively support those that need extra support, and you're not spending your time having to chase every single step for every single volunteer that comes through. That's a big way that you can make your program a bit more inclusive, and make sure that you're getting more people through that funnel to engage volunteering. Just to call out a couple of customer stats, there's some great case studies on our website, but we've seen with the likes of British Heart Foundation that they've quadrupled their volunteer conversion rate. So actually making sure that they have 4 times as many active volunteers from the same number of applicants, just by really joining up that experience and getting less people dropping out in the process. There's some other fantastic stats on our website as well for different customers that have found the same. So I'm going to pass over to Maxine in a second, but just quickly on Rosterfy, we do have a volunteer mobile application which can be branded and made look and feel like your charity. So you can have your own charity content, news articles, Instagram feed, and use it as a tool to really outreach to different demographics within your communities. Everything that's happening in Rosterfy then feeds into Blackbaud. So if we are seeing that volunteers are signing up for a mix of different roles, or they have volunteered at a few different events this year, they've given 20 hours of their time, we're essentially updating that data in the Blackbaud system so that your organization can recognize their full impacts and use that data to aid better decisions from a fundraising perspective. So we're just really making it very easy on the volunteer end. They've got a nice portal and app to log into, a nice interface with a guided application process. They can get email, SMS alerts and mobile app notifications throughout the journey, and we can make steps like training and background checks and references really quick and easy within the mobile app. We also do have family and impersonation features as well. So if you have family members, you might be, for example, signing up your grandparent to volunteer and managing the platform and the communications on their behalf, or vice versa. You might have a full family coming along to volunteer at an event on a Saturday. You've got one member of the family who's managing the system and the sign up, but actually they're bringing along multiple members of their family. So it's a nice way to engage multiple groups as well and make it easy for different demographics to get involved. So once we have got them involved, we then pass them through into Blackbaud, and that's quite often the source of truth within an organization and the main central database and source of fundraising and supporter data. So I'm going to pass over to Maxine to talk through a few things around what Blackbaud are doing at the moment and some features that might really help.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Sam. So yeah, before I dive into today's topic, I just want to take a second to introduce Blackbaud as a company. So Blackbaud is the world's leading software company dedicated to powering social good. Our mission is to provide the most comprehensive and high quality cloud-based applications tailored specifically for the philanthropic community. So we have over 40 years of experience in this sector and have built a really strong foundation and deep understanding of the unique needs and also the challenges within the not-for-profit community. So our commitment to this mission is really reflected in our extensive customer base. We have over 45,000 organizations worldwide that we partner with. And one of our key indicators of success that we're really proud of is the loyalty of our customers. So our average customer tenure is 19 years. And this long-term partnership is really a testament to the value and the trust that our products bring and the innovative solution that our products bring to our organizations that we partner with. So building on what Sam mentioned, Rosterfy is one of the many organizations that Blackbaud partners with and that we integrate with. Our primary objective, and on this slide, you'll see some of the other examples of organizations that we partner with. Our primary objective is really to help you create a best-in-class ecosystem and, like Sam mentioned, establish that single source of truth for your organization. By doing this, you're able to streamline your operations, enhance your data accuracy, which ultimately and most importantly drives greater impact. And at Blackbaud, we really do believe that a modern fundraising CRM is far more than just a data storage solution. It's an invaluable asset that can significantly enhance your overall fundraising strategy and operations. So with that then, what are those benefits of having a brilliant CRM that can integrate with partners like Rosterfy? So I'm going to start with streamlining your operations. An effective CRM has the ability to automate routine tasks and workflows. Why is that important? It can be from anything from managing event registrations, perhaps planning your volunteer schedules, processing your donations, tracking the life cycle of major gift donors. With that automation, you're really able to reduce that manual workload, minimize errors, which is so important, and ultimately free up your team to focus on more strategic activities. Second is providing incredibly valuable insights. One of the standout features of a brilliant CRM like Razor's Edge NXT is the analytics that it can provide to you. By collecting and analyzing data from various sources like Rosterfy and other partners and the CRM itself, you can help to understand your donor behavior, measure campaign and performance, and identify areas that you might need to improve on for your organization. Ultimately, these insights help you to make informed decisions that drive your organization forward. Whether it's optimizing your volunteer strategy or planning your next fundraising campaign, having a brilliant CRM equips you with the information you need to ultimately succeed. Finally, and definitely not least, is enhancing your overall fundraising strategy. So with all that data and analyzing all that detailed information about your donors, you're ultimately really able to personalize and customize your fundraising strategy and your donor journeys. By understanding your supporters and their patterns, you can quickly identify who perhaps are your most loyal donors, who are donors that might need more engagement, who's lapsing, who are potential high-value donors that you want to cultivate and continue to steward and make really strong and deep relationships with. These insights can help you tailor communication and all your engagement strategies to meet the specific needs and preferences of each donor segment. And ultimately, it drives donor satisfaction and loyalty and boosts your fundraising success. Now that we kind of understand the benefits of a CRM generally, let's talk about how you can get the most out of your CRM and some of the key things that you can think of. So first is collecting the right data. So with an integrated CRM system, you're able to see everything in one place. For example, you can see what events supporter X volunteered at, what events they attended, and what they have donated to. This comprehensive view allows you to see everything against one record. However, that is only if you have the most up-to-date and proper information collected and integrated in all of your systems. Number two is keeping your data clean and trustworthy. So maintaining a clean and trustworthy database is really essential to the innovation of a CRM product in your organization. Regular reviews of your records to maintain any outdated or incorrect information is key and just ensures that your CRM remains that single source of reliable truth. Clean data not only improves the accuracy of your insights, but just overall enhances, again, and streamlines those operations. Finally, using learnings and insights can inform your strategy again. So continuous learning and evolving your strategy are really key to attracting new audiences and forging deeper connections. Having a CRM with access to endless learning resources like Razor's Edge NXT does with our product Blackbaud University, you're able to learn about all the tools and all the resources that you have within that CRM in order to analyze your data, identify those trends, and understand your donor behavior. So just quickly, I'm going to touch upon some of the exciting features within Razor's Edge NXT and really brilliant CRM softwares that are really essential for growing your fundraising. So starting with something like Prospect Insights, which is a feature within Razor's Edge NXT that provides enhanced prospect insights to help you identify potential donors with the highest giving capacity. This feature really does allow you to focus on the most prominent and promising prospects. Having AI-driven recommendations. So Razor's Edge NXT does leverage artificial intelligence to offer suggested ask amounts and personalized recommendations for your donors. And we're also in the process of building in Microsoft Copilot into our product to further enhance our AI capabilities. Data health tools are really important in a CRM to maintain accurate and clean data, like I had spoken about earlier. Having something that flags to you duplicate accounts, potentially having the same email under 2 different accounts is an example of how that can do that and help you avoid errors and maintain, again, that reliable database. Having a donor rating and segmentation within your system allows you to, like I said, rate and segment your donors based on various criteria. So that could be giving history, engagement level, capacity to give, and it enables you to really create those targeted campaigns and personalized communications. Finally, an innovative work center. So within Razor's Edge NXT, we have a centralized hub that's really designed to help fundraisers manage their relationship, access, actions, gifts, proposals efficiently. It really does serve as that one-stop shop for everything you need to manage your activities. So now knowing all the benefits of a CRM and the important ways of keeping your database clean, and the features that you would like to grow your fundraising, you really do ultimately have the power to transform a database full of contact records and gifts into mission-changing relationships. We all know that people give to people, but the technology behind those relationships is really the foundation to building, cultivating, and understanding these connections. So here on this slide, I have just an example of a supporter journey. And with a integrated CRM system like Razor's Edge NXT and Rosterfy, you're able to track every stage of this supporter journey, ensuring that each interaction is meaningful and impactful. From the moment your supporter discovers your website, your CRM starts to play a really crucial role in capturing their interest and guiding them through their journey with your organization. CRMs like Razor's Edge NXT are really essential for building that strong and lasting relationships by understanding this full picture of their supporter journey and providing that personalized engagement. You can help to inspire supporters by taking on more significant roles. So for example, maybe someone starts as a regular donor and then they get interested through a communication that you have personalized in volunteering with your organization or becoming an advocate of your organization. With a single source of truth, with a CRM like Razor's Edge NXT, you're really able to tailor you to your supporters' interests and help them go through this supporter journey. An integrated system like Razor's Edge and NXT really does track all these different stages within the supporter journey, ensuring meaningful interaction and leveraging tools to help you build stronger relationships, achieving greater success in your fundraising and all of your mission-driven endeavors. Sam, over to you.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much, Maxine. I really like this slide, so I'm just going to leave it on screen for a second longer, but you can imagine this is what a charity typically looks like, right? You've got people that sign up through the website. You might have people attending a mix of different fundraising events and initiatives. You've got campaigns going out, donations flowing in. You've got volunteering happening in different parts of the organization. And quite often we see it all the time with charities that these departments can be quite siloed. You can have a fundraising team working in one system with some people who are doing some fundraising events. You've got another team who are volunteers coming into a retail store that's in a different system. You've got volunteer training happening elsewhere. You're trying to kind of collate all of the reports across the organization, and it can feel quite disjointed as a supporter. You know, when they sign up for a new volunteering initiative or when they sign up to help in a different way, it's kind of re-signing up from zero and having to tell their kind of life story to a new point of contact within the org. So a lot of what we're talking about here is how do we just join this up and make it as seamless as possible. And you're really missing a trick if you don't have those two kind of key systems linking together and making sure you've got kind of one central place for that supporter experience. So with Rosterfy, we obviously have the two-way integration with the Blackbaud system, which means that when the fundraising team or your central team within the charity look at a constituent record, look at a supporter record in the database, they can see their overall contribution to that charity. And that helps really fuel some of their decisions around the types of messaging that they put out, the types of reward and recognition schemes they might have, the ways that they engage different demographics in the database based on their interest areas, their skill sets, and also the ways that they've helped the charity to date. So it's really about how do we keep those volunteers engaged? How do we understand what motivates them? How do we understand their reason for getting in touch to begin with? And how do we really show them the difference that their contribution makes to the charity on an ongoing basis, which helps keep them feeling rewarded, helps them feeling like they're actually contributing something valuable and keep them coming back again and again, year after year. So that's really what we're all about and spend a lot of time and effort on doing here at Rosterfy and Blackbaud. I hope that's been a useful session. We've just about gone to the full time that we had allocated. So do feel free to send over any follow-up questions over email. You're also happy to connect with myself or Maxine or both of us. We'd love to stay in touch and continue the conversation if you want to talk through some of these scenarios. I think we've got maybe a minute if there are any questions that have come through, Martin.
Yeah, thank you very much, both of you. First of all, it was a great presentation. Really interesting topic as well. We do have one question that was brought through, but as I'm saying that we do, if anybody would like to ask any additional questions, you've got a sidebar which you can drop them in, and I can view them. We got a question quite early on which made me chuckle, which is how do you ask for a question for either of you, I suppose, but we'll start with Maxine. How do you ask for increased donations or giving without making people feel like you're spying on them? So I guess with this data, it does make it a little bit more obvious, I suppose, that we have a bit more information on them than they may feel comfortable enough to know.
Yeah, no, it's a very great question. I think that you can, word your communications in a way that you don't feel like you're being spied on. But something that in my past life, when I was working in the not-for-profit sector, something that we really focused on was ensuring that not everything was always asking for more, that you're engaging everybody in a tailored way, that things that are interesting to them that are outside of just asking for donations, ensuring that you're sending them relevant articles, relevant things in the news that might be interesting to them. So I think, yes, that's a very fair question to ask. But I think that there is definitely ways to make you feel like you're not spying on them. You're just ultimately sending things that are of interest to them and that are relevant to them. And hopefully they appreciate that level of tailored communication rather than getting something that's incredibly relevant. I hope that answers the question.